Okay, looks like we're coming on here. I'll open up the bot. You guys can play the games. Get no giveaways during the builds that I'm doing. Hey there, Chris. Hey, too. Hi, Michael. If you were in the last live stream with the build, you know I was working on the turnbuckles. Had one that was, the threads were not cut right on it, so I actually had to order in some parts. Something you pay $700 for a kit and not all the parts are good. But we'll get that last one put on. Be the first thing we do. We'll build the slipper tonight. It's in this bag. Try to get the sway bars on. We'll see where we get from there. About the last thing to do is the shocks after that, and it should be pretty well built. Besides the cosmetic stuff, electronics, wing. But anyway. That's where we are tonight. Hey, T-Roy. Oh, I guarantee you I'll do something stupid. Hey, Mike the Greek. Like I say, we're getting down there. And like I said, the last stream we had a faulty part. Had to order one in for replacement. Actually, my hobby store had one too, so I've actually got a couple spares now. These do on occasion get bent, but they did start beefing these up. They're 3.5 millimeter versus what the old ones used to be, 3 millimeters. So hi, Ernest. He said no giveaways tonight, but we'll on these builds, but that way I don't have to sit and watch the chat more than or like I normally do. Off the coast of out west there, Mike. I know they've been talking about that whatever fold or whatever's out in the ocean's been they say it's kind of imminent, gonna happen. But yeah, I use a little chapstick to lubricate the threads on them. And that was the one I got on before. This one's the one I couldn't get on. The threads were screwed up on the turnbuckle. What's going on now, though? Imagine that. But the games are active for people if they want to play. I know Chris is in here to get his hours, get ahead of Kane in hours. It's getting close, getting closer. I'll probably be on tomorrow afternoon too, Chris. That's what I'm guessing. Already had the measurement pre-measured here, 21.2 millimeters, what it's supposed to be in the gap there. Got pretty close first try in about one turn. Like I say, these have a, probably can't see it how that's tapered. The tapered has to go toward the ball stud, so that one would be right there. This one needs to be pointed down also, so it needs about a half more, which that should get us pretty close on our distance. What's the good news, Chris? That should be close. We'll see how close it is. Not quite, not quite. Yeah, I'll be on probably in the afternoon. We're supposed to finally cool off tonight. There's front gonna be moving through. If my weather beeper goes off, you know why. We are supposed to get storms. There we go. Sometime here tonight. And then rain, they're saying anywhere, well, 1 to 3 inches common and up to 5 in places. So tonight, so we're under a flood watch. Good thing I'm up high here. No issues with flooding here. Oh, I should have got my pliers out too. Yep, I didn't grab them. These are kind of a booger to get on. Yep, we're getting closer. We are down to 3 bags basically left. We say we'll get the slipper, get the drive lines tied in yet tonight, get the sway bars on, and then shocks, and then it's just cosmetic stuff, electronics, wing. So yeah, we're gaining. Oh, those are so tight. Tight is good. Okay, got that faulty turnbuckle taken care of. See how close my steering looks. Looking not bad. It's like it's towed out just a little bit, but that's part of the alignment. You check it all out once you get it completely built and the shocks on it and blah blah blah. Next thing, slipper. Dirt cars, you use the center diff in there. Of course, the motor goes right here and ties into the drive gear, which is part of the center. But yeah, dirt car uses a center diff just like the front and rear diffs are similar that I built. Carpet cars, you use a slipper, and this is what they actually came out with, what they call a decoupled slipper. The 74.2, they built it, or actually had it as an option. Slipper pads, that evidently is a slipper pad too. Something I don't have there, so I probably have to get one of whatever I can get to that. What part for a backup? Since I run modified, I guess I don't know if I've burned up any slipper clutches in these, but I know I definitely have my two-wheel drive cars for the slipper pads. Oh, I hope that little, no, it's surely not. Look like little dinky ass bearings there. Hopefully those aren't the little tiny one-way bearings. Oh no, that's thrust washers. They're little tiny, it's a thrust section there where just the slipper, they have it's like a thrust bearing in there, sits between those two little plates. I guess I could show the picture to you guys. Opening it up here. There's all the pieces of it. You can kind of be a bugger to put together. Looks like I need to get some silicone grease out. Thread lock, couple things I forgot. Hey, Kane. I knew I wasn't quite ready to go. Didn't have all my supplies out here. Thread lock. And where's my silicone grease? They didn't give us any in the package. Another one of them things. Actually, that's silicone grease. Those are the screws for the top plate, I'm guessing. We got 3 little set screws, a couple pins. Let's see if I can start slipping this together. Okay. So I can go ahead and stick the pads. Hopefully they'll stay in place. And they won't. That was what I thought the reason they put the notches on them, is help them stay in place. But of course they won't. Okay. First thing to do is take this and put this thing on it. Two little set screws go in here, and that'll have to be adjusted here later. There are some tiny ones. These set screws are even a pain. Easily lost. I think DT is going to be on possibly tomorrow night. Kane, we had our board meeting last night, so that's what he said. I guess we'll see. Okay, which one of these? Because I doubt they're the same, which they aren't. That's one thing they don't show a good picture of. One goes on one side, one goes on the other. I'm guessing, okay, this side has to go on this side because that's what centers the little spring on there. Now to get these in place without them moving on me, which they always do. That's why I say I thought they built those little tabs to hold them in place. And those tabs didn't hold it tight. In that gear. Okay, looks like they're all lined up. Saying is Oh, that's nice. That one-way bearing, the decoupled slipper, the one-way bearing is in this piece. So I guarantee you that is not a cheap replacement part. And I need that other set screw. Hopefully this is all held together with that. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Wouldn't bet on it though. Sort of is. Now, the heck is that set screw supposed to do? Okay, there should be a pin. It should be through that. Okay, I see it now. Okay, that makes more sense. It's got a slot for a pin. That makes more sense. Now this will hold it all together. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. I don't like how that's... Don't like how that is built. I mean, granted, the set screw holds it in place, but which I probably just lost. No, it's right there. Hey, Fasty. Looking how this thing's all built together. That one-way clutch or one-way bearing is up inside this outdrive. I guarantee you that's not a cheap replacement. I think it's, of course, built into it. I don't know if I like how this is. What the heck's supposed to hold that on there? Oh, the pin goes through. Okay, now that makes even more sense. That pin goes through that. They don't show that on the picture very good. Now it's making a little more sense. Getting it lined up might be fun. Pin goes through the whole works. Did it feel like it started? I'm not getting it slid on far enough. Actually, I'm not. I need to be holding on that, putting that all together like that. The slipper pads are in place. Hi, metallic silver skull. Okay, come on here. Okay, I'm not anywhere close. See, we'll back this off. See if that won't give me a little more. Okay, for some reason we're not getting that through there enough. Okay, if it go together right now. Go through there. You're right there. Like I say, these things can be a bugger getting everything lined up. Probably need to do is stick my, where my wrench would go through there, hold those in place. At least it went a little ways in. Come on, it's lined up. There it went, fell right in. Just like that. A pain in the butt. Tighten the set screw. That's what she says, fell right in, yep. Woo. Okay. Well, that's the way that part goes. Right now I need a bearing. This one or the other ones? It looks like probably that one. And the other side goes on. And they say put a little bit of silicone grease on the bearing in there. We can do that. So we'll put quite a bit on there. Okay, it's got a slot for the other roll pin on the other side. That slides down over. And the little tiny slipper pad. Then this goes on over that. And then we'll have to put the thrust bearing together. A little thrust bearing in there. These are always kind of an issue with two-wheel drive vehicles, breaking those bolts. Hopefully, and that looks smaller, hopefully that ain't an issue. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, do the little black grease thing. That's where I need this one, because I can build it on the magnet. Boy, those are some tiny little thrust balls. Sure, they make a carbide one or something that are 15 bucks. No one associated. Here's the one thing about it, you can't squeeze the grease in like with the old regular balls. I have to put the grease in. Yeah, caged. It's little caged bearing, thrust bearing. And it's tiny. About out of grease. I knew I should have went down in the basement and grabbed some. Yeah, that should be enough. And it says Loctite that screw. Is there a back off? You just tighten it down tight. I'm guessing since you Loctite it. It just locks down tight. Got the little spring-a-majigger. And that should all go up in there. Let's get it on the wrench. Guessing that must be a 2mm. Yep. And the Loctite's gonna have a hard time staying. I got plenty of silicone grease in there. Then we don't want to over tighten this, small as that screw is. Okay. Next there's an adjustment. Person has to make. Oh, 8.3 millimeters. How in the heck are you supposed to measure that? Eight. Okay, there's 8.3. I'm guessing I'm in too far then. Oh, yeah. Think about that. Okay, we're in too far. I'll probably tighten a little bit more than 8.3 since I'm running mod. Still got a ways to go. Thanks, Vasty. Didn't even think about that. Okay, let's bump it up to about 8.5 or 6. So a little bit tighter than tighter than what actually I need to flip it back. Here. Yeah, it's pretty close to where I'm guessing it should be. I say I went a little bit more than what they, a little tighter than what they said. And then the other measurement is the adjustment on this spring. And it's supposed to be 2.1 millimeters. And I'll actually definitely go a little tighter on this one. Again, a mod thing. And to get that measurement, I'm going to take a 2 millimeter ball stud spacer because there ain't no way to measure that down in there. If I get a 2 millimeter spacer, it should be able to tell, get a little tighter than 2 mil. There's one. Or a little bit farther than 2.1. It isn't there yet. Okay, we're right at exactly 2. I think we got her pretty close there. I say, for mod, I'd crank it down a little tighter. I'm guessing we're about 2.3 to 5, which I'm going to say call it good. Now I got to get these lined up with the flat spot. the shaft. It's pretty close. Not quite though. Let's see if I'll back it off here. See if we're still well over, which I think we should be. Yeah, we're still well over my 2.1. Probably 2.2 or 3. Tighten them down. Don't like that tightening on the threads. For the second one, but I suppose do what gotta do. Okay, there's our slipper clutch put together. She's tight. Guess I need to put the other bearing on there. Guess it's this one. Nope, it's the big one. My tools set aside that I don't need. I don't know what that bearing's supposed to be for. They just give me an extra one. I don't know where it would go. It's the least they could do for the turnbuckle they sent me that in the kit that was bad. Yeah, I don't know if you were in Fasty or not. I had one of the turnbuckle kit, or turnbuckle in the kit, the threads weren't cut right on one side of the turnbuckle, and I didn't have one. I had to order one. Actually, the hobby store had one last weekend. Okay, time to put the slipper in. Sit there like that. Well, that went together way too easy. Usually got to fight to get that in there. They got a little spacer. Where's that thing at? Looks like the tapered end goes back just like that. Of course, you don't put the screws in there because they only show they say the 2 additional screws are if you don't use the fan mount. They actually build a fan mount into the I don't know if that thing will come back out with a fan mount or what, but I guess we can go ahead and put the screws in. It doesn't say Loctite them, but actually you probably don't need it because these don't really do anything. Says they're in there for, if you don't run the fan mount, well, we'll go ahead and put them in for now. Hold everything in place. 'Cause that is where I'm going to use the fan, put the fan. Got to take them back out for the fan mount. That's all cool. Probably got longer screws if you put the fan mount on, but we'll put them in there for now. Okay. Well, slippers in. Next thing is the sway bars. Sure thing, Net Fryer. Yeah. Caster even still around. See how free the drive line is. One thing I did forget to put any grease on my ring gear in there, but they don't show it. It's fairly free. Probably haven't been in here enough. Snuck any coins into the build. Want to use them for chassis weight. Probably do that. Shoe glue them in. $50, silver dollar here or there. Okay, sway bars. How are you, Ryan? Haven't seen you around quite a while. I think you're up in the Waterloo area or somewhere. Somewhere up north, or was. Just a slave at work. Understand. Okay, sway bars. Of course, they had to come out with all new ones again. They had new ones. 64 had a set, 74 had a set, and of course they had to come out with all new ones for the 84. So I have to order some of them, more than likely. 1.8, 2.0. I'm guessing 2.0 goes in the front. Oh, there's Bobby too, huh? Aren't they sorta? Doesn't Thunder Tiger own Associated or something, or they were tied together some way? Heck, I know my SC8 had a Thunder Tiger Team Associated motor in it. I agree, Fasty. Kind of pissed me off in a way that at myself a year ago over there at Island. The guy owns the track out in Indiana. What's the one? The other hobby town, hobby whatever, one where they're having a lot of the big races now. Indiana, I'd say Ohio, Indiana. He walked out there with a brand new SC8 body. I had never seen it on the shelf over there at Muscatine. Yes, I am, Ryan. It is my go-to track nowadays. Okay, what do we all got here? Got 4 with balls and 2 with none, or 4 with none. So I'll start these in here because I know where they go. Get the little set screws, so I get them started in here. That way I don't lose them. Okay, Fasty, eat your dinner. I don't know how much longer I'll go. I may get these sway bars on, and I may open up the shock packages and do some of the pre-work getting ready to put the shocks together. Like I say, after that it's pretty well done, but the cosmetic stuff. Electronics, wing. One guy told me the 74 body is supposed to fit on these. I hope they do. Hope it does. Hopefully I don't have to paint any body. That would ruin my day, 'cause I hate painting bodies. Actually, they're on, Ryan. That was the part before putting the slipper together. And I came to a standstill because one of the turnbuckles, you know, a $700 kit, and turnbuckle come with bum threads on one side. So I had to order some. Oh, they don't come on. I've already done them though. Okay, we'll see you later. Okay, got those in there. Take a look at how exactly this is a little different setup than what they've done in the past. Oh, and it tells me to use thread locker on them. I guess I could go ahead and put on these are the little uprights for them. Oh, I don't think I'm going to thread lock those. Okay, probably be easier to put these in outside the car. I guarantee you they're going to be tight. One. There's two. Probably outside the screen, see what I'm doing. Okay, line up there. Snap them on first, this way I don't have to do it when they're down here in place. I probably should get my needle nose out, which it's buried away, because those got to go on those little knobs, and there ain't no way anything but a needle nose to pop them on. if I can find it. So probably not want to go on by hand. I would just bet. Oh yeah, it went. That one went on. It wasn't very tight. Okay, get it in there. Switch hands. Can't twist my wrist enough. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, the sway bar links are short, so they go under the drive lines. Now that's different than 74. And these evidently capture there we go. Capture and sit inside that gearbox area. For it. There it goes. You can get it pretty well centered. Now we just eyeball it. I always call them sway bar. They're actually anti-sway bars. See how much gap? Use some side to side movement. Oh, so I got some hot. I got it too tight then, I suppose. Okay, back it off a little. Well, that's a lot of side to side movement, but said leave a little. Guess I don't want those to pop out of the maybe just a little too much. Don't want these to pop out of that gearbox. Out of that holder. Okay, there's a little bit. Got a little bit of side to side. I guess so it can pivot freely. Is there any gap, they say? Perpendicular. I'm guessing they're supposed to be flush. Since they don't say, I don't exactly like that. Guess they'll have to be straight up and down. Like that. Get the wrench to start in them. Are you kidding me? There we go. One thing, it looks like you're going to have to take the shocks off if you want to change the sway bar. Okay, there we go. Everything pivots freely. And actually what those do, when the car leans into the corner, it'll actually start to lift the outside or the opposite arm too. That's the rear one on. Pop the front, these front ones in. That's going to be even harder with turnbuckle in there. In the way. That's why it's nicer to put these, have these on before you even put your arms on if you break one. But, and, you know, in the kits, they wait till the last. I know what'll work. Let's solve this problem. Maybe. Get out the hemostats. Maybe. Yeah, much easier. Much easier. Okay. We wouldn't be able to use a much bigger sway bar on this thing. I do have cutouts here, so it'll help it get around those bends. And get in there. Okay, leave it a little bit loose. Get it centered. Actually, one side hooked under the bumper. How in the world did it manage to do that? There we go. I don't like that. That's way tight. It should not be way tight. It should pivot freely in there. Another screw up. Oh, I see why. It's because it was in the bend. Still tight in there though. It should not be tight. Probably not enough to keep the arms, prevent the arms from moving though. Find out here in a second. Snug these up. It's not loose, that's for sure. We got side to side. Got side to side, so have to go with it. Oh, and don't tell me those got to be in through them before I. Which it looks like they do. Not enough room to get them to slip over. Barely. Got the one on that side. Oh, I got that. I put that one on backwards, didn't I? Or did I? Yeah, I put that one on backwards. Well, maybe that'll make the other side go on easier. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah. Do this the easy way. Quit fighting with it. Take the sway bar link back off. Yeah, I had this one backwards. But yeah, it looks like you're going to have these through these links before you put the up into place on the gearbox. On the front. Like that. Center 'em. It's all the way in. Back it off just a little. Sure, got a little bit of side to side, which I don't. Okay, there's a little bit there. It's just that one side is tight, which it shouldn't be. So hopefully that won't be an issue. Get the shocks in there. The shocks will push against it. It'll be working up and down quite a bit, so should be all right. Those are definitely a little bit long too. But they are front and rear, so those don't look like you have to take the arm off to make them, get them that chain or the shock. Yeah, you might have to take the shock off of there, get those out. But that pivots, so, and it feels free, so why that's so tight in that case, I have no idea. Okay. Shock time. Okay, Dennis, we'll see ya. I'll probably get on here sometime tomorrow again. We'll probably just open up the bag of shock parts here and we'll call it a night. Make sure everything's in there. We might do a few cosmetic things. Like get things sort of put together without building the shocks completely. Bag o' shocks. So one thing about it, I should have extra parts for these if or anything in here they forgot anything. Won't need those till the end. Sure which we'll have to figure that out. Got 3 different lengths of those, the shock bottoms. They'll tell you. Shock bodies, front and rear, different lengths. Same with the shafts. Rears are longer. Get in here and get out the 4. One thing I can get slapped together. Get the little O-rings in them that keep these tight. And no need, but not till I start putting the shocks together. Hey MSS, yeah, hit 3 money bags. Wrong night to do it though. I guess you hit a couple the other night too. The bot must be liking you. O-rings for the insides of the shocks, spacers. Put these on. Seals for the top of the shocks. Put the seals for the bottom of the shocks on. They won't come off once they're put on. So the threads. Yeah, you should have got an email from me. It said the stuff's on the way. Should see him in the next, maybe by the weekend, I don't know. I think it showed actually 5 days, which that was kind of odd that I thought. Was going to take 5 days, but maybe they're finally being realistic. stuff's there. Yeah, I was a little slow yesterday, but I did get to the post office just before about 45 minutes before they close, so okay, got those on. Now I need just a little bit of shock oil. Up here. These are always fun to put in. Got these little O-rings that go in these that keep them in place so that they don't or move around on the shock bodies. Of course, that first one went right in. That was nice of it. Usually aren't that lucky. Put a little bit of shock oil on them. Make them screw on a little nicer. That way it don't cut them when you're slipping these on. You can actually, of course, adjust the ride height of the car by moving these up and down. Move the or what the springs sit against. Screw them pretty well up to the top. See if I get another one to pop in that easy. They usually don't pop in that easy. Like that one. In place somewhere. Now it is. Don't need that much shock oil, but so you just get a little bit on that O-ring, makes everything sit together a little nicer. Yeah, I know it's coming in. Be a welcome relief after the last how many days. Been miserable. I was looking, what, at 7 o'clock, and my little heat index thing on my weather station said it was still 105 heat index out. We don't need any wind like they had out east last night, or north and east. That's for sure. Already got need to mow my grass and been putting that off because of the heat and the rain that we've been getting about every frickin' night. But I got limbs down too from that wind the other night. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Say, just a little bit of shock oil makes these go on so much nicer. Yeah, I said to heck with it, Fasty. I'm just gonna wait till probably Thursday now if it rains all day tomorrow. It's gonna be, I'll have enough out here to bale hay, I think. It's getting so tall. Yeah. Thing is, you're in town, you gotta keep yours mowed. You know, you have whiny ass neighbors complaining about your yard. I'm a little lucky in that respect. You got a push mower, I'm guessing? There, you probably don't have a big enough yard for anything but a push mower. Get in place. Yeah. That's what I figure. You probably don't have enough yard to make it worthwhile to spend the money on a rider. Then you'd have to have a bigger place to put it. That's the thing with mine. I've got enough out here. I kind of split it up into three, usually three mowings, three different patches. The one I mowed last week, the other two, it's been longer than a week. And that includes the front yard, so. Okay, got to shock them together. It is getting to be about 9:30 here. I've been going for a couple hours. That's about where I figured I would get tonight. We'll probably get on here tomorrow afternoon. Finish putting the shocks together. I could keep going and be done probably in an hour, but we'll break it into one more But we got a little bit accomplished. Got the sway bars on, center dip in, or the slipper in. So anyway, guys, I think we'll get out of here for tonight. We want to, Chris, you want to come back in tomorrow, get them hours? Yeah, it's getting there. We're down to one bag, basically one bag yet, all the cosmetic, battery hold down, motor pieces or motor bracket, and then electronics getting it in there. So wing. But yeah, we'll catch everybody later. Thanks for stopping in. We'll do this tomorrow. Later, guys.